Well, it looks like I got started exactly 1 minute early. Wasn't paying any attention to the clock. I would say hello to everybody, but I don't see anybody in chat. It says two people are waiting. I'm pretty sure it's live right now. If I were to move my mouse across, yeah, it's live. All right. Let's get to some channel news first. I did lose a subscriber. Not a big surprise. I expected it way sooner than now, but it's all good. Let us, hello, Intermute. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to kind of go over what I was working on yesterday. I don't remember if I saved it or not. Chances are I didn't. Excuse me. So that means I have to start this all over from scratch. And as some of us know, me starting something over from scratch is not good. Um, Last night I did go in. Well, first, let's just do some real quick business. I went in, I'm pretty sure, and I changed this one so that it reflects all the current information. Yeah, it's rendered out, and I think that means I did do it. I'll find out when I scrub through this. If it says today is 72, then yes, this is the one I need to do for tonight. So Wintermute, who's with us in chat, came up with the expression for the days to go to automatically count down for me. And he also knows what that means. I had to mute my mic. I heard a huge crash over there in the kitchen, and I wanted to make sure Mrs. K was okay. Hello, Alice. I'm real original with my titles here. I think the last one I put countdown, but I'm just going to go ahead and render this out. And then get into what I want to do today. Oh, I do see an issue with the chicken that I didn't notice until now. Chicken, is that because, now is that done? That's done. So let me go back over here. Oh, I see. Okay, here again, this is why there's no music. I didn't pay any attention, so I got to unmute that. Now I have to re-render it because I'm not watching what I'm doing. I'm going to add it to the render queue. We're going to replace it because it's not active yet, therefore I can replace it, and it'll just write it over the other copy of that. And I'm still going to go in, and I see one thing that's off that I can't believe I didn't catch till now. So right here, it looks like the chicken's missing, and that's probably because if I move this one, nope, that's not it. Maybe that's the wrong one. Maybe if I move this one. Oh, that's the way the chicken's supposed to be. So that is correct. All right. Go down to the house. Go look at this one. No, we'll just close the house and move on. So we're going to close this, and it'll open us a new project, and I can demonstrate and experiment and play with what I was going to yesterday. I actually wrote notes. I actually wrote things down because I was trying to figure stuff out in my head. We experimented with 30, 60, and 120 on frames per second, the frame rate, because we were thinking that that was the issue. So I'm going to go back to just 30 for now, and I'm sure this is going to be not saved anyway. What is this, you're asking? Good question. I'm glad someone asked that question. So the text plus file, we're going to drag it down here, and then we're going to close this. We're just going to leave the text like it is. We're going to go over here into the box with the inspector open. We're going to right click. You got all these choices. You have follower, key stretcher, which I can't figure out, text scramble, which I figured out, text timer, which I sort of kind of figured out, and time code, which I did not figure out. So the follower, you click on that, and then you have to be in Fusion. So you go to Fusion, and then you have all of these things to choose from. So you basically change the size, but I noticed it's not working. Why is it not working? You would think it would work. Well, let's verify something. Did it work? We're going to jump it up to about, I don't know. Let's put it back to the original size. Even that's not working. Let's jump that up. I guess not. So let's go see, did it change over here in the edit page? It did not. Still 0.09. Go back to Fusion. By the way, there's 3 different ways the sun needs to go to Fusion. So I was frustrated. I'm messing with this. I'm like, okay, let's change this to live and unscripted exclamation mark. Now, you would think you'd be able to change the size. You can't. Here's how you change the size. You can. Here's how you change the size. Hello, Darren. You have to set a keyframe first. So I'm going to set the keyframe at the beginning just to be consistent. Once I set the first keyframe, watch this. Now you can change the size. It's the most silliest thing I think I've ever saw in my life. And this holds true with everything. So if we come back over here to the edit page, we'll notice now it's, even though it says here that it's 09, that clearly has been changed. So you can go Fusion here. You can go Fusion here. You can right click and open in Fusion page. That's the 3 known ways that I know of. So again, transform. I was in here going X and Y, it's not working. Well, that's because, again, silly as it may be, once you set the keyframe, then you can go in and you can change these however you want. It's kind of cool because now you don't have to do anything over in Fusion nodes and everything else. So I already know to set the keyframe, so I'll set the keyframe. And some of this I've done, some of this I haven't done. I've actually messed with some of it. Shading is shading. Now, again, you gotta set the keyframe. I'm pretty sure. So let's go into here. We'll enable it. And apparently it did not set it. That's interesting. Oh, because the keyframe set on number 1. I don't need that one. I want to enable it on number 2. So we'll enable it. And again, I'm not seeing it. Let's see if the thickness, nope. Okay, what am I not doing? Oh, opacity. Opacity is 100%. Interesting. That should, let's change it to this. Nope, I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna jump over here. Clearly not seeing it. Go back over to here. So we'll not mess with that one. We'll uncheck the keyframe and I'll deal with that later. I'm gonna go back to the timing. Again, we're gonna do all characters. We're gonna do the automatic delay type between each characters. You have choices here. You can do it between each character, first and last, 2 choices. So we're going to go ahead and keyframe all of them. That should have done all of them, but that's fine. We'll keyframe them all. And then we're going to take the delay and do it like about, I don't know, 10.7. We'll jump over here. We'll hit play, see what it does. And it does absolutely nothing. Of course not, because it doesn't want to work. Works when I'm because, all right. That makes sense. So I got a keyframe set. I've got to set the other keyframe. So I can't remember if this is the one I want or not. Let's just do that. So now let's see what it does. Nothing again. Let's go back to the beginning. Hit play. And that's not going to work. So yay, glad that worked. My script is horrible today. So what am I trying to do here? I have got the follower. What that's supposed to do, and I'm sure I'm missing something, is it's supposed to, did I do this wrong? Oh, I set the keyframe at the end, not the beginning. Keyframe's right there. It's just this little white mark right there. So I'm gonna get rid of the keyframes here. And then I'm going to go back over here to text. The size is good. The timing. I'm going to, do I have a keyframe set at the beginning or not? I do not. So let's put this back to where it needs to be. And then I want to move on to the other thing. That one I did set. All right, I'll come back and deal. It does work. I messed with it yesterday. So let's go back and delete this. But I don't want to delete. I want to keep the script. Well, there we go. And I guess I can't copy that. Oh, well, I can remember that. I'm smart enough to do that. Let's go look at chat. We still have Wintermute and Alice as well as Darren in here. So let's go back to here, go into here, right click. Let's go with the text scramble. That one I think I can remember. Go into Fusion, and then we're going to put live and unscripted. Now this one did take me a minute to figure out yesterday because I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do, and I'm like, oh wait, why is it not working? Then I realized, this is when I realized you have to have keyframes. So I'm going to keyframe it from the first. I know I'm there because if I move the playhead, I know I'm at the first. Verify that with that. So I'm going to set the keyframe. At the keyframe here, it's going to use these characters, and I want that to be like about right there. Crazy. I'm just going to go to the end, and I'm going to keyframe it to be back to 0. Now, if we come over here and play this, and go back to the beginning, when you hit play, it does that. Now, some of you may remember I actually did this a while back using nodes in Fusion. Much simpler. Very easy to use. Just, I really like it. I'm almost going to go out on a limb and say there is a way to actually change the colors of the letters themselves. Each and individual one, since you know, I know I can do that in character level styling. So that's that one. That one's pretty easy, actually. To me, that was pretty easy. It just was a matter of figuring out. The first time I did it, I thought, oh, cool, just change this and something will happen, and it didn't. So now, that should have set a keyframe. It did. That should set a keyframe. It did. That should set a keyframe. It did. And that should set a keyframe. I'm curious as to what that's going to look like. So we're going to go to the beginning, and I see it doesn't really change it that much because it's still all tangled up. So let's stop that, and we'll go get rid of this one. Now we'll just grab another one. I don't need to necessarily get rid of it. We'll grab another one, and then we'll scrunch this one out of the way. Move this one over. All right, so now let's do another one. In here, we want to go to text timer. I had a problem with that one. Text timer. Go into Fusion, and you'll see it automatically comes up with the number 1. Now, I probably will not remember how to do this, but I don't want the hour showing, and I don't necessarily want the second showing. So you see, and I don't know how to turn Fusion off. So I have to demonstrate that. It's only showing the minutes. I have yet to figure out how to turn this dumb Fusion off. I thought it was because it was on over here. It's not on here. I can turn it on here, and then I have the Fusion ability to move that around in here. But that's not it. I can't figure out how to turn it off, so I've learned to deal with it. So again, beginning, I want the timer to be at, I can't remember if this is straightforward or backwards. So let's put the timer at, let's do seconds, and I'm going to put the timer at 0. I'm going to set a keyframe. And I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to set a keyframe for 15 because I know that clip runs in 15 seconds. and hit enter. So now it's set. And we come over here and we hit play and nothing should have happened. Now, why is it running those big numbers? I honestly don't know. Now, I know why it's not running the seconds. So first thing I want to do is I want to verify this is a 15-second clip, which it is. And I want to go back to the beginning. It doesn't make any difference. Go back into Fusion. See this button right here? It says start. You have to hit the start button. You're changing minutes, not seconds. You're changing minutes, not seconds. Okay. So I have to hit the start button, and as soon as I hit the start button, that should have started counting. I'm probably backwards again. I think you go 15, because there's a countdown clock as well, and I got the two confused. So pretty cool now that it doesn't work. So hit start. There we go. Go back over here, and that's going to count down. Now, why it's going 5:40, I don't know. Wintermute will figure that out for me, which I sincerely, very deeply appreciate, because I just don't have the knowledge. So if I hit start, it's going up in 60-second increments, isn't it? So it's starting out at 0, then it goes 60. So each frame, it goes up by 60. This is what we did yesterday, by the way. No. Yep. It's hard to watch this and the seconds down here at the same time. So let's go look at this. I have seconds checked. Let's change this from seconds to minutes. Reset. I did learn that too, because I made all these changes and nothing would work. Reset it, start, go back over to here, and it's going to count down regardless. Look at fusion frames are on minutes, but you only have, oh, yeah. Good point. I see what he's saying. Correct. So I'm going to go back to seconds. I'm going to uncheck minutes. I was originally going to do this here. Very good. He is absolutely correct. Why is that not letting me put, okay, so I want to reset this to 0. Maybe not. Oh, keyframes are still set. It's good to laugh at oneself. All right, so now I can change this, I believe, to 0. Now I want to set seconds. So I want to go to the beginning. Good catch. Mute. Inside joke. So we're going to set this one at 0. We'll go to the end, and we'll set this one at, we'll go back to the beginning. Set the keyframe at 0. Go to the end. Set the keyframe at 15. Well, my mouse or me or something's really off today. 15. Delete. Oh, doggone it. There we go. Seconds are checked. Seconds are keyframe. This should run in seconds now. So I'm going to hit reset, start, go over here, take this back to the beginning. Yeah, it's already, now it's at 0. We hit play, 2, 3. Yep, that is it. Good job. It's always nice to have a second set or third set of eyes watching, because things I miss, people pick out. And yesterday it was the Zoom homies and I were doing this. Now this is going to run because it's going to come over here and try to find what this one is, which is that. So you could run this. You could set this up to then go into that. There's applications for it. There are some applications for it. All right, let's do one last one. I've been about 18 minutes. I started pretty much on the top of the hour. So I want to keep it at about a half hour or so. That'll be fine, I think. Let's move these over just a little bit. Bring this one down. All right. Again, we're just going to change the title. It doesn't really matter. You can put anything you want in there. We're going to right click and we're going to go to am I wrong in remembering where this is at? Should be a countdown. maybe it's in text timer. Maybe I'm thinking, oh yeah, countdown, timer, and clock. The clock is what I couldn't get to work right. And you have your hours, minutes, and then military time or 24-hour time right here. Now this one, I really wanted to set a clock, but then I couldn't figure out how am I going to get this clock to transpose over to OBS as a clock. I was just going to like throw it up here in the corner and have it running, but I haven't figured that out yet. Probably won't figure that out, to know the truth. So you can make this look kind of cool. You can go in here and go to generators, grab a color, drop it down there, and you're saying that it didn't change. It's showing purple there. That's because the color of the generator itself is not. It's we'll just change it to there, move our slider up, and now we have a background, which if I do figure out how to use it in OBS, I'm not going to need to do that because a white clock on a black background will be just fine. Again, the applications, you could run this to here. That plays, actually I have them sort of kind of backwards, I think. I think the way I want to do this is I want the clock, and I want that, and then I don't want this here. I want that to be there, and then we'll bring this down here. We'll go back to home. I've been using the keys quite a bit. So now if I hit play, is that going to count down? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Now the question I have in my mind is, if I render this out, is that going to grab the clock, or is it going to render out 1321, blah, blah, blah? So that works good right there. And as you notice, the background's gone because the background's not there. Simple fix to that is if I wanted to use the same backgrounds, I just grab this, drag it out to there, and now the background's back like it should be. Okay, any questions from chat? I had about 8 minutes to figure something out, or to take a suggestion, or to whatever. If you'd like to see or to whatever, put a 1 in chat. Got to poke a little fun at our good friend in Fresno, California. Darren wants to see whatever. All right. Where did I put that at? I downloaded something today, and yes, I know these are all in the wrong place. Right now, the way I've got this set up, everything goes in there. So you guys have seen the chicken. I downloaded this one yesterday. Downloaded is the wrong choice of words. I took a screenshot of this one yesterday, and I want to actually work with it a little bit. I pointed out before, right now these are too big, so you come in here and click on this, come in here to video track height, and you can lower it down. So if you have a lot of tracks, you can put it on its lower setting, and that's not too bad. I do this because that way I have everything I need, and when I still bring this down, I still have everything I need. So something caught my eye about this. This was on Facebook. It caught my eye. And I thought, man, I really want to work with this. What can I do with it? Well, bring it into the color tab and add an alpha output. And you don't have to do it this way. I'll demonstrate. I'm going to remove the alpha output. So you can come in here and mask this out using the power magic mask or the power window. I prefer the power window, and you can mask it with this and just move your mask and get what you want. But I actually like the feather, what they call the feather, and that way you can start your point. Let's just say I want to start with the moon right here. You can roll your mouse make this as big as you need it to be. So that's not in a good spot. We're going to put it right there. And then try to get another one. I'm just going to real quickly haphazardly do this. So I want to move this one back to about, okay, I got the wrong one. I want to move this one back to about, nope. So Control Z. And it shouldn't have done that, but it did. I don't know. Some really hinky, weird things going on. If I really want to get elaborate with this and just really do a somewhat better than my normal masking, then I just keep expanding it up so I can see what I'm doing. It might be difficult to get that point, so I'm just going to not get it. Yeah, do I want the palm tree or not? I think for today I don't, so I'm just going to take the palm tree out and then come over here. And to speed this along, we're going to come over here, come up here. Now, it's mashed out. Hello, Wild Bill. So it's mashed out, but we're not seeing anything but the mask itself. You have to add an alpha node, and you have to connect the alpha out to the alpha node you just made, and there it is. Now, this is a horrible example to use for masking because if you didn't see the whole picture of the women sitting on the beach drinking wine, you would not know what that is, okay? So I always add my alpha node first and then connect it. So that way, as I'm doing this, then I can see what I'm masking out. That's the only reason that I do that, is because it gives me the opportunity to see what I am masking while I'm masking it. And I just enjoy that. So yeah, this is what we want. We're good with that. We're going to then bring our text back, and then we're going to bring this down just a little bit, and then bring our other text over. And then, well, I kind of like how that looks. I don't. I'm just saying I do, just to be saying I do. So we're going to bring this up and bring this up. We're going to highlight this, press Alt, and drag it up to make sure we're on that. You don't have to do this. So now you're like, well, where's it at? Well, it's right on top of it or right underneath of it. Hold on, start everything over. Control Z, Control Shift Z, redo. Okay, I'll give that a shot. I'm going to move this one over. Looks like a broken apple, doesn't it? And then put this one over here. And then it's highlighted, Alt, drag it down here. And we're going to drag it over there. And as you can see, this is how I create a lot of things. I'll see something I like, and I'll go in and just duplicate, copy, move, stretch, do whatever I want to do. Great Guy is up. 68 Sunny needs to go to Lowe's. Today is Lowe's. I figured Great Guy out. Every other day is a different store. Walmart on Monday, Lowe's on Tuesday, Walmart on Wednesday, Lowe's on Thursday. Except today's Friday, he's going to Lowe's, so maybe my sequence is off, but I got him pegged. I got him figured out. So anyway, that's I'm coming up on a half hour. Good to see Brian. Thank you, Wintermute. Looks like a coin cost to me. Yeah. Well, the original, if we come back over here to, now can I do this? Can I go in here? No. This is the other thing that I really haven't figured out if it can be done yet or not. Because I have all these other ones right here, I can't go into the color tab until I move them. Then I can go into the color tab. And then I can I'm just going to grab the mask by holding the left mouse button down, and I'm going to mask this one out, and then I'm going to move this up. I'm going to grab this point and move it up some more. Actually, move it down, zoom it out, move this about right there. Grab this point. You get the idea. A lot of fun. Someone that's got more creativeness than I do could have a lot of fun with this. Did I just admit I have no creativeness? I think I did. So then we bring this back, and now we have a partial whatever. Looks like, okay, I went over that one. I want to thank everyone for being here. Wintermute, Alice, Darren, Brian Lightfoot, anyone else who's watching. As I stated at the beginning of the show, some channel news. I did lose a subscriber. Not a shock. I expected it. It'll build back up. Thanks, everyone, for watching. 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, depending on if we get our hair colored pink or not. The hair color changed. Apparently, we're going pink for Halloween. Beyond my rationale. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tonight. Have a great afternoon.